What's up? I'm Old Man Winter, and this is going to be my first video to truly explain what masteries you should be running when playing League of Legends. This is going to be a three-part series, starting first with the Ferocity tree, then the Cunning, and last but not least, Resolve. We're going to go over each and every individual mastery per tree, so don't worry, everything's going to be explained. Let's get started with Fury. Fury has the ability to give your champion upwards of 4% attack speed at the beginning of the game, and should be chosen by champions that rely highly on their attack speed, such as Nocturne or Jinja. On the other side is Sorcery, which gives 2% increased ability damage. This should be used for your AP champions such as Fizz or Ahri that benefit from the increased ability power. The next two available options are Double-Edged Sword and Feast. Double-Edged Sword is different depending on if you're playing a melee type champion such as Udyr or a ranged champion like Caitlyn. If you're melee, you will deal 3% additional damage, but also take 1.5% more damage when fighting. If you're playing a ranged champion, you will take and deal 2% additional damage. I think this works best with champions like Talon or Zed who want to burst down their target quickly while also being able to dodge incoming damage. If you don't like the sound of that though, you can run with Feast, which grants 20 health every 25 seconds when you kill a unit. This is a great choice for ADCs that want a little extra sustain in lane while farming. As we move down the tree, we see Vampirism and Natural Talent. Vampirism grants 2% lifesteal and Spell Vamp. This is a great pick for ADCs, but especially champions like Vladimir, as he benefits from the auto attacks and abilities he casts. If you're looking for a little extra damage in the late game, Natural Talent is your answer, granting scaling attack damage and ability power, going for 10 attack damage and 15 ability power at level 18. Your damage dealing pick gets a little bit stronger as the game goes on. The next two mastery options are Bounty Hunter and Oppressor. Bounty Hunter deals 1% increased damage for each unique enemy champion you kill. This means that assuming you can kill each member of the enemy team during the game, your champion will be doing 5% increased damage to each enemy champion in the game. This is great for your mid laner or ADC whose sole goal is to kill everyone. Oppressor, on the other hand, is used to deal 2.5% increased damage to targets with impaired movements. That means things like slows, stuns, roots, taunts, anything like that. A great pick for this mastery would be Amumu. As you're jungling, anytime you land your ult or a Q, you'll be doing 2.5% increased damage. Continuing down, we see Battering Blows and Piercing Thorns. Battering Blows provide 7% armor penetration and is crucial for your ADCs or AD mid laners, like Zed or Yasuo. On the flip side, Piercing Thoughts provides 7% magic penetration and is awesome for your AP mid laners that want to shred some of the enemy's magic resist. As we work our way to the last row of the Ferocity tree, we are tasked with picking the keystone that will have a huge impact on the entire game. There are three to choose, starting with Warlord's Bloodlust, then Fervor of Battle, and finally Deathfire Touch. Going in, Warlord's Bloodlust heals you for 5% to 25% of your critical damage dealt based on your in-game level. It also grants you 30% attack speed for 4 seconds on a 2-second cooldown. This is extremely useful for champions like Tryndamere that do really well building critical strike items and attack speed items to kill the enemy team. The next keystone is Fervor of Battle. This keystone provides 1 to 14 scaling bonus physical damage based on your level and can stack up to 8 times. You gain a single stack from auto attacks from ranged champions, while melee attacks scale 2 at a time. If you're using abilities, you also generate 2 stacks, but there's a 2-second cooldown per ability cast. These stacks last for 6 seconds. This means that at level 18, a champion will be able to do 112 damage with full stacks of Fervor. I find this to be a really good pick on Udyr as he relies heavily on attacking with different abilities, resulting in acquiring stacks very quickly. The last keystone option in the Ferocity tree is Deathfire Touch. This keystone causes your damaging abilities to deal additional magic damage equal to 8 plus 60% of your bonus attack damage and 25% of your ability power over 4 seconds. This is delayed based on area of effect and damage over time spells, so you need to think about what champion you're playing before you pick this keystone. I think Deathfire Touch works best with champions who fight over long periods of time, and I would recommend someone like Malzahar when picking this keystone. With his Malefic Vision spreading over 4 seconds, and the Deathfire Touch also taking 4 seconds, the spreading burn damage synergizes very well, and is very useful in lane and in team fights. All in all, the Ferocity tree is used primarily for your damage dealing champions such as your top lane or ADC, while also being useful in part with your mid laner. However, as I explain the rest of the masteries, you'll learn that not every keystone is good for every champion or situation. Sometimes you just want to go 12 points in one master tree and save the keystone for a different tree. but that will have to get explained in a later video. Thanks for watching, and look out for my next video where we go over to the Cunning Mastery tree. See you then.